Lions TV, this is your post-match analysis video for yesterday's 1-0 win, once again against Leeds United at the Den. 4 straight wins for Neil Harris and his merry men, and 4 clean sheets in a row has seen us rise to the dizzy heights of 5th in the table. As always, let's kick off the show by taking a look at the 11 that the gaffer picked to start the match. And it wasn't the team that I was expecting him to go with, and I did say that pre-match when I posted the team sheet on social media, but I also said in Neil Harris I trust. And as you can see, the team sheet is there. It was Lucas Jensen in goal, Ryan Leonard right back, Danny McNamara left back, who again was brilliant. It was Cooper and Tanganga, the central defence rock of a pairing. It was Ryan Wintle in midfield instead of Casper Denor, alongside George Saville, George Honeyman in a 10, Duncan Watmore on the left replaced Femi Aziz. It was Romain Esse on the right, and Macaulay Langstaff continued as a lone central striker. Going through that team, I think, honestly, we've got 3 of the best fullbacks in the division, all individually brilliant at their own things. Ryan Leonard, I said in the preview that I did with one Leeds, my mate Connor, that no one in this division can get past Ryan Leonard, and he proved that again last night, keeping Noto very quiet other than one chance they had, which I'll get onto shortly. And then you've got Joe Bryan who can come forward, clearly, technically above this level, or would have been 2 or 3 years ago. Now he's getting a little bit older, and niggling injuries have come in, etc. And then you've got Danny McNamara who can just play either side. And I really do think we've got 3 of the strongest fullbacks available to us in the division. The centre-half speak for himself, as do the goalkeeper, but I'm going to talk in depth about the centre-backs and, of course, Tanganga in a minute. And then in midfield, the surprising one was Casper Di Ballon dropping out and Ryan Wintle coming in. Why was that? At first, I was thinking, well, is he potentially not fit? Or, can he not play this amount of games? Maybe there's something underlying that we don't know about. And again, it just proves how fucking fit and how important George Saville is to the team. But someone put this comment on, well done Stephen O'Mara, on social media earlier, and he's absolutely right. Maybe Harris is learning from that, and we all criticised Harris when we lost the Cardiff, which was, I'm willing to talk about now, that was the last time we lost the game. And since then, it's gone completely the other way. And maybe it is because he didn't freshen it up and bringing people in and taking them out and alternating and keeping things fresh and competitive was definitely the way to go. I think if it comes to the 11 on paper, we could all put our best 11. But we need to utilise our squad. Our squad is stronger now. There is a lot more depth to it. You still got Billy Mitchell to come back. You still ain't seen Daniel Kelly play. Ivanovic didn't get on the pitch last night. You've got Bradshaw to come back, amongst probably some others that slip my memory as I'm filming. But we have got a strong side, and I think it was a stroke of genius to bring in Ryan Wintle, really. Although I would rather have seen Denor start. I thought Wintle had a very, very good game alongside Savs. It is good to build those other pairings, because if something does happen to Denor or something does happen to Saville, then you've got issues. You've got to try and see if it works in other scenarios, in other situations, and other pairings. Similar with what I think you're maybe seeing a lot of Sean Hutchinson come off the bench lately as well. Keep him in and around it, keep it fresh, and then if something does happen to Cooper or, God forbid, Tanganga, you've got a ready-made replacement there who's been sort of involved and playing around the player. You might have to play with at some point, especially with the Christmas run coming up. The left wing, Duncan Watmore, in for Femi Aziz. I've given my thoughts on that. And I do think Aziz going forward eventually is the way to go. But listen, once again, it's good to have that option. Isn't it? Really good headache for the gaffer to have. I don't think Watmore played particularly well last night, although I know people think that he did. So he may have done, and I might have got that one wrong, like I have in the past. Get things wrong, get things right. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to be praised at points, very rarely. And I'm here to be shot down, and it is what it is. I don't make any apologies for any of my opinions. I always have reason behind them, and I'll stick to them. If I hold my hands up, if I have to, if I've got one wrong, and I've got more than one wrong, but I've got, luckily, the biggest one is, to be wrong about an individual player is fine. Where you don't want to get it wrong is the manager. But again, I was buzzing when Joe was coming. I think a lot of us were. And I really wanted him, and I really wanted to back him. It didn't really work out. But never in my life can you ever doubt Neil Harris. It cannot happen. He knows more than any of us about this football club. He's lived it. He's breathed it 2 lifetimes. I've told you before, it's like Roy the Rovers shit. So hopefully now the people that keep saying he's a League One manager at best and he's not the man for the job, hopefully now let's get behind it, because honestly I really think things are looking up and promising. We've got a very, very good, strong, young squad. Whoever left that, Romain Esse, Row again, said I don't think he's at the level, I don't think he'll ever get there. He's had 7 or 8 really, really good games where he's shown now that he definitely is at the level. However, last night I didn't feel he was as good as he had been, which is fine. Maybe it was the level of opposition. He still battled. He still did what he had to do, and he still did his defensive duties really well. But I felt that things didn't come off for him as much as they had done in previous games, again, which can happen. It can't come off every time for you in every game, can it? And then up front, Langstaff. And look, again, you've got Bradshaw coming back. I will refer again to that shooting drill that I saw on the club's Instagram page. We had Bradshaw, Ivanovic, Coburn and Langstaff all shooting. I didn't mention Coburn in my preview, partly because I forgot it, to be honest. I didn't forget it, but I thought he came off the bench against Burnley, and I thought there's no way we'll start him against Leeds because he's not going to be ready fitness-wise. But when he came on, my God, what a player. And again, he's come on in front of Ivanovic. That's one that's up for debate because Ivanovic obviously is a record signing, although he's very young, he's 19, he's got time to learn. But he probably won't be happy, he's not getting game time. But again, you can't be on Neil Harris's door, any of them at the minute, because the majority of them are getting game time and we're performing really, really well and getting results. So the gaffer will be sitting behind his desk, he'll be out enjoying his cup of tea without knowing he's going to get a knock on the door, although apparently George Savile knocks every day just for the fucking fun of it, which I expect, and I love it about Savs because that's the sort of person he is, and he's just fucking in everyone's ear, including his own managers, which is good to hear. So look, the game starts, and it was a great atmosphere inside the Den last night. It was a little bit, in our box, it was a bit subdued. I don't know if that's the right word. I'm usually get the ground and I'm hyped. Then I have a little lull. Then I back up again. I'm excited for the game. I'm nervous. And I had almost, not a level of expectancy about me last night. I sort of maybe took it for granted. I thought, do you know what, we're going to get a result here. You know, again, similar to Burnley, at no point in that game did I ever really feel in any danger. And once Leeds did have the ball early and did pop the ball about and tried to bring Noto in, who was having a massive cheat up on the left-hand touchline and just standing out there doing fuck all, just waiting for the ball and not making any runs or anything, just being lazy and expecting the ball with his feet and getting it, and he couldn't get past Ryan Leonard. They tried the other side down past Danny McNamara, kept trying the overlap down here. They did get the overlaps a bit, but the balls into the box were just either not good enough or getting munched up by the centre-halves or the goalkeeper. And again, as I said, like Burnley, within 15 minutes, I thought, you know, we're going to fucking win this. And then eventually, we got back into the game. It was a game of few chances. It was a game of not great quality. I've watched the highlights back late last night and again early this morning. So I'm struggling, if I'm honest, at the top of my head right now to think of chances that we might have had in the first half. But I don't think there was too many. But again, for them, not too many. Just shots from distance. The one that was a great block was from Tanganga. And of course, I know we scored in the first half. I'm going to get on to that in a minute. I'm counting the ones that weren't a goal. I'm thinking of other opportunities. Where Noto gets the ball. It's actually Cooper that lets the ball under his foot. Slipped from a pass from Ryan Wintle. And they get down inside box. Fired across. Joel Peru doesn't get on the end of it. Joel Peru is a player that I've put in my EFL Dream Team. And I took him out after about 3 weeks because I've watched him and he cannot fucking trap a bag of cement, the geezer. He's good on getting on the end of crosses, but he can't control the ball. He can't link play very well, in my opinion. And on this occasion, when the ball's whipped in, he sort of doesn't make an attempt for the header, goes to the far post, Noto cuts in, and he's firing it. Jensen's there, but I think the sheer pace and what the shot low it was, I think it would have flown in. And Tanganga somehow gets his head down, his body down, and knocks out for a corner. It's a goal-saving challenge from Japhet Tanganga. And then shortly after that, we take the lead. We get lots of free kicks. We're putting them on it. And what I've noticed now, I said in previous videos, and we all know that over the last year or so, Cooper's not winning as many as he was, and that was a big part of his game. And now 2-2, he scores one against Burnley, and this time he becomes provider. Saville takes a short free kick, Ryan Leonard hangs it up, and then Cooper heads it back across, and Japhet Tanganga, absolutely as casual as you like, outside of his boot, on the volley, just controls it, don't thrash it, and slides it past Mile into the far corner. It's an absolutely brilliant finish. Now in real time, we was up the other end obviously to that. And I said to Henry this morning when we watched it back, when I was dropping him to work actually, I was waiting for his boss at 5:30 to pick him up. I said to him, look, did you think that when we scored that goal, it was a lot further up the pitch? From where we was, obviously this side of looking that way, it looked like Cooper was on the 6-yard box and his header across goal had been sort of tapped in by, originally I thought it must have been Langstaff because there's bodies everywhere and I could just see, you know, the area it went into. I was just assuming it was our striker. It was a striker's finish. But if you actually watch it, obviously, from a different angle or from on the TV last night, it's a brilliant goal. He's sort of penalty spot-ish. And it's a great controlled finish. The two centre-halves are doing everything at the back to keep us rolling with those clean sheets. On this occasion, they've ended up turning providers at the other end. Cooper to Tanganga, the old 1-2. A little bit Morrison and Gregory-esque. and they give us a 1-0 lead going into the break. And then going into the second half, again, I felt it was a little bit subdued. It took a while for it to get going again. And again, it was quite scrappy. It was quite physical. I felt actually for once last night, you always complained, didn't we, that refs are against us. I thought we got quite a lot out of the ref last night. Eventually, Leeds, 2,000 travelling fans. I'll be fucking fuming if I was a Leeds fan, honestly, last night. I didn't think that they performed or got to a level anywhere near that I know they're capable of. And again, as I said in my full-time reaction, I said that the same about Burnley as well. So maybe, it's just the way we set up. We do sit in that shape and we won't go into that press and we'll say, no, we're here. If you want to break us down, here we come. We're not going to press that way because we don't need to. We're going to sit here, invite you on. Then if you can break us down in these areas, fair enough. Then we'll try and hit you on a break. And I think it just works for us. I said before as well so many times that this new age football where everyone pops out the back and now we are a different type of side. I did get criticism the other day, but it's fair enough because I said that on that Leeds thing that we're quite direct and people said, oh, Dan's done us a disjustice there because we're not that direct and we do play some nice football, which we do. And especially I thought that was the case when Coburn come on. But as a whole, we're not really a possession-based side, are we? We are slightly more direct and we're less play it out the backside. Although we do play nice football, we play it in more progressive and in the right areas, which I think is the right way to do it. Again, I'm not knocking anything, but the second half, now the crossing come in very early, literally first 3 or 4 minutes. Noto should do better, heads over the bar, and then eventually they do score a goal, which was given offside, and it was offside. Crosses coming in, Perot sticks it in. Am I saying his name right? Perot, whatever, you know who I'm talking about. The kids who didn't score up front for Leeds last night. And as it's coming across, he tucks it away, but he actually gets a little help on, I think maybe from Aronson. And it is that help on at that point where he was offside. I've had a little freeze up a couple of times today and looked at it as I like to do. And it was definitely offside. And then other than that, the only chance that we had in real time again, I said Femi Aziz missed and hit the post and he should have scored. But from, again, we're the other side of that. So it goes across, it's flicked on. And you actually, if you watch the replay, Aziz actually does do that because he makes the motion to header it. But their defender actually gets there first and heads it against the post. But other than that, they come forward at the end. Their keeper come up and got on the end of a corner, didn't they? That was the closest they really came. I just felt that once we get that lead now, and as I said, Neil Harris has said, Championship, the first goal in any game is pivotal, but especially for us. And I felt that if Leeds had scored first last night, then we could have been in trouble. But once we did score, it's difficult across football's changed in general now. Once teams score, they see it. And they'll say, right, come and break us down, like Bournemouth did again against Man City. And I've seen plenty of teams try and do against big clubs in this, not this division, but also in the Premier League, which I don't really like to watch, but I do anyway if there's nothing else on. But we do it so well. We travel around the pitch as a unit so well. We're so in sync. And we hunt like a structure like this. We just go round, and we do the right things. We're making the right decisions. We've got a team full of battlers, but we've got a good team as well when we need to play in the right areas. And I thought Josh Coburn was absolutely fucking outstanding when he came on last night. And now the gaffer's got to make another decision at Stoke on Saturday. I think we're maybe getting more towards, we could play 4-4-2, but again, I like 4-4-2. I know a lot of you will be putting in the comments, play 4-4-2. But can you change it? 6 unbeaten, 5th in the league, 4 1-0 wins in a row. That's absolutely unbelievable. And the only reason I didn't say we was going to win 1-0, again, like I said on the Leeds fan channel, which I did with Connor, he said, give me a prediction. And right in the show, I said 1-0 Millwall. And he laughed and I went, no, do you know what? Because of the law of averages, it surely can't be 1-0 again. And it was, and we got a good side, good young side, strength in depth, people coming off the bench. I think Aziz was hardly done by to not start. I thought he looked strong when he come on in his defensive duties. He looks really up for it, Aziz. And I loved his celebration. I'm sure you saw it on social media when he put the cross in for Cooper against Burnley. He looks proper invested in it. And it's a really, really good young squad. It was another brilliant night without the game being of fantastic quality. And myself personally not being, I don't want to be nervous, but that's just how I usually am. But last night, again, didn't really feel in any danger at any point from Leeds. Yes, they got a little spell in the first half, but they did have a lot of possession, and they did knock the ball around nicely, and they are a good footballing side. But I thought they would get a result against us, a draw last night. I went for a 1-1 in my preview, because they got that little bit of edge. They got that magic man in Noto. They've got a proven goal scorer in Peru, and they've got Dan James and Aronson who'll join in with goals. They've got that 3 or 4 players that can make a difference, whereas I don't think Burnley, other than Brownhill, haven't really got. But they just didn't get to their levels last night, Leeds. I'm not sure why that was. It may have been the way we played. It may have been the intimidation factor, or it might have just been plain and simply because it's Millwall at the dead and they just like to lose 1-0. But they would have gone home severely pissed off, those 2,000. They're not being They're not being boastful. They're not being big-headed. They're not getting above their station thinking they should win that game, like my mate Connor said in his preview. You know, the amount of it's credit to us, if anything, because the amount of money that they spend on players alone should be blowing everyone else out the water in this division. But once again, it just shows you the beauty of the Championship and the levels that we can get to, especially at the Den, with grit, determination, and a bit of sheer-blooded Millwallness with Neil Harris at the helm. They have got to build a fucking statue at some point of this man, because he's absolutely blown Roy the Rovers out of the water. Honestly, it's unbelievable what he's done at this football club and what he continues to do. And if we're still not backing him, then I can't help you, honestly. But it's another win, and we look ahead to Saturday's trip to Stoke City. Now, obviously, it's Thursday, and I've been doubling up because we've had midweek games. I think Stoke will be our third game in 9 days, something like that. So 6 days even. Anyway, 6 days. So I've not doubled up on this one because the views do suffer. And a post-match with Leeds, you get a win. You've got to put that as a single video. You can't really combine that with a Stoke video. So I will either do the Stoke video tomorrow morning. However, I do have my pre-op consultation tomorrow in Tunbridge Wells at fucking 11 o'clock in the morning. So, and I've got the kids, Henry after work and Fraser after school. So I might not get the chance to film that tomorrow, but I'll keep you posted on social media. If I don't, I might try something different. I will be going live from in here on Saturday. I'm not going to Stoke. My ankle's still in bits. I haven't really got the money to go at the minute, if I'm honest, because my operation is going to be, I found out a date on the 18th of November, which is going to put me on my arse for about 6 weeks. So I'm going to be missing loads of I'm going to miss Oxford away, which I was going to. I'm going to miss Portsmouth away. I'm going to miss Sunderland at home at the Den. That'll be about 3 days after my op. So I need to watch the pennies. I can't be travelling to Stoke. I will do a live stream from in here, but short story, extremely long. I might do the preview before my coverage of the live stream. So I'll do it all as one, but I might just do it live and then go on to the stream, like continue with the stream. Anyway, you probably don't give a fuck, but I'm just letting you know, just in case you did care. But it's another win at the Den, and it's 4 in a row, 4 1-0s in a row, 6 unbeaten, and up to 5th in the table. Dare we dream a busy Christmas period coming up? If we come through the other side of that, sitting where we are currently, then do we dare to dream? I'm not sure. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday, what's left of it. And I'll be back either tomorrow or if not, definitely on Saturday for a live stream for the trip to Stoke City on Saturday. Of course, don't forget it's an early kickoff, 12 or 12:30, maybe 12:30, but we'll get into that on another video in another day. Super Neil Harris in the gaffer, I trust. Please subscribe to Lions TV. Come on, you Lions.